Hi, my name is Detroit Miracle, and I am here to talk about relationship problematics or woes. When people meet people and they enter into a relationship on a more serious tip, those people usually are on their best behavior at that time, or they're usually wearing the best that they could possibly wear at that time. They are conducting themselves properly at that time because they do not intend on turning that person off of a significant. And it goes both ways involving male and female companionship. Like when a guy is out and he sees a female he likes, usually she's on point there. She's dressed nice, or she might not even be dressed nice, but her body is slamming. She's out cold, her face is pretty enough. And then when this woman sees this guy, he's wearing the right things, he's saying the right stuff, he's looking appropriate in order for her to be attracted to him. And then if they exchange numbers and hey, they got past the first stage. Now when they talk on the phone, which is always the next step, it's like it's up to the guy to convince the woman to enter into a more deeper relationship, or to get to the third stage, you must get past the second stage, which is the phone call stage. So, us guys, we're trying to be on our best behavior there. We're not trying to turn her off. It's like we're trying to tell her everything she wants to hear and tell her the things that she would like, but not appear to be obnoxious. And all women know what we want automatically, but we're not allowed to ask for that over the phone. We're not allowed to bring that up on the phone call stage, which is number two. And I find that surprising because if we want the same thing, us men, then don't the women want the same thing? Because we are, sexual creatures that way. That's part of the pleasure package here. So don't they? So why is it so bad for us to bring that up on the phone call stage or the initial phone call stage? But anyway, us guys will talk to her on the phone on a during the first phone call stages, and we're not allowed to bring that up. So we talk around it, we dance around the subject. We might get through a few phone calls, and then comes the third stage, and that means she's going out with us. Now, you go out on the third stage on a date, you really ain't supposed to mention sex either. This is only if you're serious about each other. Like if she's serious about dating him, he's serious about dating her. So he picks her up or she picks him up and they go out on a date. They might find some nice eatery or eating establishment, which is reasonably, expensive and accommodating. Or he might try to go over the top with her to impress her. Like he might take her out to a Red Lobster or Applebee's or something even more exquisite, where you might pay $200 a plate without the wine or liquor. So when you add the wine and liquor, add on another couple of hundred. But anyway, they get to that, and then we get to the fourth stage where she decides to give him some, and I have to say us guys are pleased with that decision. So they do it. Then the fourth stage, they like each other, they do it, and they get past that, and then to say they're animalistic, their sexual animalistics come out during that session, where they are making, strange voices and noises, and then you just say during the sexual part of the relationship, we know is all animalistic. Then when it's over with, we civilize again. Well, to make a long story short, after the fourth stage, they decide to date one another, or she picks him, or he picks her. It depends on your situation. Now, if the guy is incredibly comfortable, like good job or a lot of money or something, then usually he might make the claim that he's making the decision to pick her or date her. But if it's the other way around, where the woman is financially secure, she has a good job, money and things, then the decision is up to her to pick him. Because, if you have a lot of money, that's anybody, you usually have the pick of the litter. You can go out, it's like going into a store, a candy store, and saying, hey, I want this, I want that, I want that, I want that, but I don't want any of that. But either way, to make a long story short, again, they get into the relationship, and then at some point they're having their problematics. And that usually happens when, to say, we be more of ourselves and we become more of ourselves and we drop the act, so to speak. Like like we're not, when we meet people that don't already know us, and especially if we intend to enter into a relationship with them, we are not completely ourselves, but rather we assume other identities, or we become what we feel we must in order to attract those people. It's like, for instance, like if a guy might be on a serious tip and he might meet a girl and she's like, hey, he's so serious, serious and kind. And when 2 or 3 months later, you might find out that he's some kind of jokester, prankster that likes putting dynamite in people's anyway, I know, crazy. And then she's like, hey, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was crazy at first. He wasn't acting crazy. He wasn't looking crazy. He didn't show any signs of being crazy. Or it might be the case where she is the crazy person and she turns out and she starts doing crazy things. Like maybe she might burn up his clothes or something like that. She might like walking around outside completely naked. I know everybody got problems, but rather we try to deal with our problems. We try to keep our problems hidden. We don't want our problems to be made public because they will turn people off. So these people, just say at some point in couples relationships, and with some couples they have problematics, so they might part ways and they split up because one or both are unable to come to grips or deal with problematics involving, and it might be both ways. Just say she might have things or bad habits to turn him off, and he might have bad habits to turn her off. So when they break up and split, then that means neither or one is able to deal or tolerate with the problems of their significant others in those relationships. Then you see cases where people break up and split and then get back together. And that's an indication that they or one are able to deal or tolerate with those problematics. They might be like, well, this person is messed up this way, this person is messed up that way, but hey, at least I know that person, I know they are relatively safe and they do not put me in any extreme danger. But those would be examples of the things that involve relationships there. Things go right and things go wrong, and there's a reason for it. Well, this is Detroit Miracle again. And if you guys enjoy this message and appreciate it, y'all are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel if y'all have not already. And please leave a like in the like section and a comment in the comment section. Thanks for tuning in.